Bleh. Where? I'm here. Ish. Ish. Man, boy, wife, finally you're there on time. You're the big man in charge. You pulled up your britches and pulled up your bootstraps and all that fun stuff, and then you find out that I'm the one who's late. Can Safi please put in the damn hours for 5 fucking minutes? It's a big ask, apparently. It's a big ask, apparently. It'll be a little before we can actually get going. But for now, how about we all reminisce on the good times of this thing where 2 chips. Man, I'm not good at this, am I? I'm not selling you on anything here. Do you consider yourself sold? Do you consider yourself wiser, smarter, sexier than ever before? I pulled my bootstraps and landed on my face. Well, you know, that is the classic way to resolve that without looking too cocky. You know, looking like you're a big man in charge. It's like, you know, I'm better than everyone, and I'm just gonna do it. I need to clear out some tabs, as the cool kids like to put it. And then once I'm done with that, we can actually keep going. But yeah, for those of you, there's no one here to talk to in this particular context. I would like to point out that there is no reason for me to especially point anything out, because anyone who's here almost certainly has seen the last few chapters, because there's really not that big of an audience. But even so, it's been a while. I really was hoping to do a thing last week, but things happened, and I could not make that happen. It was, as one could say, impossibility. It was impossible. Hold up. I need to check some things. I need to make sure my checksums check out. Cool. So what has been going on in Falling Down? I can't my toasties, I failed you. So what has happened in Fallen Down so far? It's like, which title is it? Is it Fallen Down or Falling Down? I feel like Fallen Down makes more sense, since Falling Down implies that it's a continuous process, but the whole thing is about that process ending. So all I want to say, man, is I'm not sold on this scheme you're trying to market. My point is that what has happened so far is that main character 1 has caused injuries to main character 2, and then a cop decided to make it his business, and all I can say is that I hope Officer Eric turned out to not actually be a cop. I feel like the best way to make Officer Eric work as a character is that he either has an ulterior motive, or he is just not an officer to begin with, and nobody has the guts to tell him to fuck off. Because the way he is written, he does not feel like a good cop. He doesn't even feel like a good caricature that you write so that people are like, I don't like police officers. Even from that perspective, the guy does not work as well. I don't know. Almost there, don't worry. Almost there. And then we can finally get back to going on. Another problem that we're going to have real fast is I looked a little bit ahead, and characters do that thing that I say that they explicitly should not do, which is they just say how they feel. A core element of a well-written story is that you, the reader, are trying to infer and place emotions on people. And this does like the opposite. In just a cartoonish way of like characters are just explicitly stating how they feel about things. And it's a little flat, is the term I'd like to use. It comes across a little flat. A little bit like I'm not supposed to care or put any effort in, because you're not putting any effort in. We'll get to that as we go, but for now, I just need you to know. Cool. That should be it then. Cool. All right. Just gotta. Wait, where did? I haven't written in a while. Like, at all. And I don't know why, I just have not felt the urge to do all that much writing stuff. What the hell is this folder, then? Oh. Well, that's gonna need some sorting. Shit. So my big problem right now with Officer Eric, as I mentioned, is that he feels like he's supposed to have this relationship with the characters. He enters the story and he's extremely friendly with people that are supposed to be the suspects in like a domestic violence case and aggravated assault, which is super weird. Like, I understand wanting to be friendly because the situation's obviously a bit tense, but basically both people involved in this domestic case, his initial impression should be, oh, one attacked the other and also attacked someone else. And also someone else was attacked. It's not even related to them. There's like a family friend at best. So like, shouldn't his initial impression be, fuck these people? I feel like it's awfully generous for him to walk into the room and start off so politely, you know? I feel, personally, like he should have a slightly more negative opinion of people. That your whole job as a cop is to walk into the room and immediately have vibes on everyone. Cool. Okay, okay, cool. That should be good to go. Apparently. Okay. Alright, now I'm actually focused and I'm here. I'm out to get a water bottle, but I'm here. We can get going. Get rid of this. Just double checking all my things. Okay, that should be clear, ready to go. And I need this. Oh, Yeah, it's having a little bit of a lark. And there we go. Alright, and then in a split sec, I can turn on the actual recording part of the recording, and we can get going. Alright, let's pick ourselves out a nice tune. Yeah, well, let's say on the menu theme for now. Actually, let's go with this Glass Sucks. So, for those of you who are tuning in, we are dealing with an incredibly unprofessional officer who's being extremely friendly with two domestic violence characters, who also assaulted the tertiary person. I just want to point out that Eric Marquez is, like, weirdly immediately involved. I feel like he's breaking at least a few HIPAA laws with him, just snooping in on Inco's health situation. I imagine, like, as a cop, right, he probably can't just request Inco's medical condition. That's probably something he can just do, since he's the person in charge of this case. But I don't think he can just walk into the doctor's office, into this guy's room, and just start looking at his sheets, right? He has to get his information through the right channels. Also, how the fuck did he get into the room if the doctor's like, no one can bother this man, he needs arrest? The masturbator writing just enough for a layout, but doctor keeps putting chemicals in my blood that make my brain sad. My problem is just that I've been distracted by a lot of stuff. I've had different creative outlets, and honestly, I've been having a lot of self-doubt about whether or not I really want to write fanfiction for this. It's been my main catalyst, because I need a world to operate in, and this has been like a decent place to put all my things, but I'm like, should I bother? Anyway, we're gonna take a nice down, low, and easy slow, and all that fun stuff, and all the Gucci goo, as they say. And it's gonna be a hell of a lot to actually get out there, but sure, Safi. I don't want to make your life miserable. How much is this? Jesus. 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, about 15, Jesus. Previously on Fallen Down. Inco, this is duck, not turkey. Stop! You have violated the law. Inco doing the WikiHow picture of how to accept your death. It is kind of like, you can't simplify it to that it's duck and not turkey. I don't know how hard they are to tell apart. I've never seen either of them in a raw state or in a cooked state where you could make inferences about them. I imagine that if you buy breaded nuggies, it's like, good luck, chump. You ain't figuring this out unless you already know meat. But it's kind of funny that Olivia can tell this at a glance. Maybe she should have taught him the ancient techniques she uses. Anyway, it's been 6 days since the incident. Inco, despite the fact that the man died and lost 8,000 gallons of blood and is missing 15 bones in his body, he is healed in 1 week time, because we all know how that goes in stories like this. Characters do not have realistic healing periods. They just fucking get out of bed one day and they're fine. Like, physio, what's that? Oh, I'm sorry. I have chronic what now? No, I can just get out of bed after suffering near fatal injuries. There's not a doctor in the world that's gonna be like, buddy, you need to stop for like a few months if you want to ever take another step. Like, yeah, people can heal, and he's young, but come on. Yeah, something to make you go, something to make your brain tickle, yeah. And I'm missing both. I've been distracted by other things. I'm also mad at a bunch of people, and they need to get their shit going. So like, all my go get moving shit energy is like directed at other people. Anyway, it's Olivia's POV. It's 6 p.m., not a.m. I mean, considering her habits, she should definitely be winding it up at 6 a.m. Her hands are sore, scraped, and dirty. She's been spinning the wheels of her chair. I don't think she would ever describe it as spinning the wheels of her chair. I think she would sooner describe it as pushing herself forward. This like, creates a distance between herself and her chair, and if you're in a wheelchair for that long, I imagine you consider them like, I'm not pushing the chair, I'm pushing myself. I'm trying to go places. Bring out the olives. I had to go to him. I know the officer regretted his words the instant he said them to me. Officer Eric told me about what had happened. In his words, suffered a minor accident and had become unconscious again. So Inco woke up and then just fucking fainted again? Eric, this is why you are not allowed in the room with the patient right now. Also, everything he just said is inadmissible in court. You do know that, right? You did not read him his rights. He is not in a good head state. The doctor will confirm you were basically pressuring a person in no condition to be interrogated. Like, be glad if the union protects you and you get off on a little, oh, don't do it again, buddy. I didn't want him to die without being able to say sorry to him directly, and I don't want him to die. Man, him dying is bad, but if I don't get to say sorry, I'll feel worse. The man would be mauled by nurses. I felt pathetic and worthless. Listen, I just said this. I would like to point out all these sentences start with I. 6 in a fucking row, man. Calm down. But more importantly, don't state your goddamn feelings. Have characters explain, what does it feel like to feel worthless? Why do you feel worthless? Describe standing outside of the door realizing there's nothing you can do. And that in spite of you calling yourself a big person, you still acted like a petty child. That's pathetic. That's worthless. Don't just tell me what you feel like. Get up on that stage and act. Those are not for the audience. The audience does not get to see the cues of, you're sad now. Those are for you, the actor. Those are for you, the writer. Otherwise, you could just write a story where people say that they're sad and they're happy now. Anyway, she continued rolling down the hill. Listen, Olivia. I have a soak own blood and water. Even more self-inflicted wounds from my fingers. What the hell have you been doing? It's been 6 days, Olivia. Like, if they were soaked in his blood, I could see what you're doing. But if she's just really clenching her fists, I guess? Olivia, please, you're not helping anyone. Also, wasn't Olivia moving out? Shouldn't she be, like, with the Paynes, who are monitoring her constantly? The Paynes were never implied to be on a hill regarding anything, and I doubt a hospital's gonna be built on a hill. Not these days. I didn't want him dead. I did not! Oh, hi, Mark. The red lights of the hospital signs were clearly visible. Hey! You're not allowed to use that. That's for the Red Cross. Blurred by the rain and the darkness of the afternoon. It's October, Olivia! It's not that dark! Also, 6 p.m. is evening. It is already evening. As fast as I was going now, I cursed these stupid legs for everything that had happened to me. Which is weird. Because Olivia never really made it about her disability. It's part of the equation and, like, the catalyst by which things happen. But if you really cut down into it, you know, she never really blames her legs for anything. She blames herself and her circumstances and, like, people exploiting those circumstances more than the circumstances themselves. You know, everything is... Fuck off! Didn't you already reference the title? Feel like I'm gonna fall down and never get up again. No, that's not how the song goes. The song is, I get knocked down, then I get up again. They ain't ever gonna keep me down. Winter fans, when they go outside at 4 p.m., they cannot see because it's pitch black. Inevitably, I fell. Yes, because you've fallen down. And you're talking about... Is this, like, poetic in Spanish? To, like, repeat the same verb and then put in an uppercase like you copied your fucking title like a loser? I scraped my body. My sweater was bloodied and... What are you talking about? What happened? Did you crash? She's like, I'm going very fast, and then she... Oh, I thought you were talking metaphorically. You didn't fall, you crashed. If you're going quickly, and you stop, and it causes trouble, you've crashed. You've not fallen. Also, it's kind of cheap if you take Inco's one thing, which is that he fell down a hill and died, and you're like, no, I've fallen down, Inco. The title is about me now. If you want to make it... If you want the title, right, to be this mirror reflection of they've both fallen down, then have her fall down metaphorically and have him fall... Or have her fall down emotionally and socially, and him fall down physically. Like, his problems are physical, her problems are mental, blah, blah, blah. Way more interesting because now they've got 2 different angles to approach a problem from instead of having exact same fucking problem. It makes characters too easily able to just solve problems. Because Inco can be like, listen, you can say whatever you want, Olivia. I fucking broke my leg and I'm missing an eye. You know? There's more dynamicism to it. There's more reason for them to talk. I scraped my body, my blood was soaked, and also the blood on my hand is just sprayed all over the place. My wheelchair seemed beyond repair. You're outside of a hospital. They'll provide you one. He would have got... Who's he? Oh. Are you talking about Guts? You should maybe not take your rat with... What? Like... Eiko's big boss maxing. Man, sure is. Man's gonna show us all how it's done. Climbed into my chair, awkwardly fell faster to the floor, but that didn't stop me. I like how we do this, right? It's like you're describing actions so horribly flat. Okay, listen, hold up. These are not action words, right? These are not emotional words. She's not struggling to get into her chair. She's not like raising herself up with her last strength. She climbs into her chair awkwardly and then just falls onto the floor. Like none of it matters. None of it leaves any impact. She doesn't give a shit. It's so flatly written, which is terrible for a POV. From a third person perspective, it kind of works because now it feels disjointed, like disconnected. And like tragic in a way, but it's really weird. If I'm having an emotional moment about my husband dying, I'm not going to be like, I climbed into my chair awkwardly and then I fell face first. No. No. You're relying on an actor to sell me this line, and there is no actor. Inco, it's all about me now. Get back in the cuck chair. The wheel was dented. I was to bounce a little, but I didn't care. If I fell down again, I would deserve it and get back up. Wasn't your whole thing that you would fall down and not get... Wow, this is so forced. This is so forced. It's magical how forced this is. Instead of the injury being something that makes sense, like being a thematically appropriate injury or something, it's like, no, I've fallen down because I'm trying to help him, which is like the opposite. I'm just saying this injury would make more sense if it happens like at home. Like she's having a bad situation with Randy and Damien because of her circumstances, and then Randy loses his mind or something and like kicks her chair, and that's why there's a dent in the wheel. It's supposed to symbolize the destruction, the decaying of her relationship with her environment. And how that hint... One of these days, I'll consult someone for real on like their writing project, and I'll just lose my damn mind because he just isn't listening. Deep breaths, deep breaths, deep breaths. Focus your auras and your chakras. Shit, someone said a cute little kitty cat picture. Kitty! Alright, let's go on. Like, this line is so underwritten for what it needs to be. It's so flat. I feel like you could add so much by having me... And if I did fall down again, well, then I deserve it. But I'd still get up again. It feels a little too optimistic, a little too, like, willing to fight the odds in spite of the fact... Like, we're at the beginning of the story. She needs to be like, I don't want to get up. And someone else has to force her, and it feels bad. Obey the editor or suffer their wrath. Ugh. Apparently, editors these days don't do shit. They work for publishing companies, and all they do is say, publish this shit. It's ready. The only time they get the yells when they're dealing with an author smart enough to realize that an editor is what you need. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want 90% of my people to be like, yeah, this shit's big on TikTok, just publish it. All over the place. Rolling Gun Hospital goes, so those tried to stop me, but the move side to avoid being run over by me. It was like in school. Olivia, that's a crime. Olivia, that's trespassing. You've committed a crime. Also, I'm pretty sure you're not even allowed near him because of the whole case going on and the fact that he's dead. So, like, Olivia, they're going to call security on you. They're not going to be like, oh, that's fine. Some of them probably already heard the rumors about Inco being a domestic abuse victim. So, goddamn, Olivia, holy shit. This does not help your case, right? When they go to court and a nurse walks up or the doctor goes up and goes like, yeah, Officer Eric like agitated Inco's wounds, and then Olivia just snuck past hospital security. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. She's got issues. This whole case is just shit and fucked. What I was as I wheeled my wheelchair around. Why don't you just say when I wheeled myself around? Why does she keep talking about her fucking wheelchair? Your wheelchair is how you move around. You don't talk about it like that. You're not doing this for your wheelchair. Your wheelchair is gonna walk up to Inco and go, hello there, my husband. You're the one who's going up to Inco and saying, hello there, my husband. I looked at the names of nearby areas until I found where Inco should be. How the fuck would you know? Somewhat center, although many were wide open. I'm glad that they have privacy glass and just refuse to use it. How the fuck would you know where to find this man? Hospitals don't work like that. It's not like there's just a big list telling you where to find your husband. So many people out at the hospital look me strangely. I shouldn't have been. Yes, because you're not. There's probably like a nurse running after you right now, screaming you should stop and get out, or at least say who you are. Inco, you missed a lot after you fell down, so I brought Oliver to make out with me in front of you so we can be on the same page. What a considerate wife. To help him catch up. I tried to get attention with this, so I kept looking for him blindly. I like how no one seems to notice this random woman in a wheelchair wheeling herself around all over the place. It's Officer Eric's voice barely audible through the... Why would you recognize Eric? You've talked to him like once or twice. Yeah, I recognize this man's voice perfectly in like the murmurs of a hospital. Hospitals are not quiet places like that most of the time, especially not if you're in the hallways. There's people moving around all over the place. There's weird machines happening. There's for some reason, a janitor like always somewhere. I think I would see him again after all. He's investigating your crimes! Oh, you mean Inco. Sorry. After everything, I kind of thought you were fixating on Officer Eric. Also, this is where you remind us that you're looking for Inco, because it implies you're looking for him. You're not looking for Eric. Did you remarry already? With the person investigating your domestic violence case? So, I'm losing my goddamn mind. So Officer Eric has no intention of stopping her. She is a domestic abuse suspect who has attacked her husband. I want to point out, right, like, even out, like, Inco's mind space, if he's confronted with her, is going to lead to agitation, which can only make his condition worse. The other part is, like, this doesn't look good in any situation that, like, oh, you know, she might try to kill him, you know, cover up things or something, or still be mad. I don't know what you're doing here, buddy. You can't just let her in there. What is happening? Why does this feel like a really bad telenovela? Leaves the country with me and goes to Argentina. Man has it figured out. Man has it figured out. My heart seems to be crushed by the sight of his appearance. He's 99% bandage, man. It's not even Inco anymore. It's actually just a practice dummy. Eric is here because he needs to practice his interviewing skills. To a lot of machines to kept him alive. It's not that many. Like, sure, it probably feels like a lot, but it's like a couple of real things needed to keep you going most of the time. Like, when you really cut down into it, a breathing machine and, like, an IV are, like, the majority of the things you need to keep a human body functioning. Maybe, like, usually they'll collect your waste with a bedpan. So, yeah, that's, maybe his heart's irregular. That's, like, 3. That's not a lot of machines. They might look impressive and strange, but they wouldn't look like a lot. You'd be like, he's hooked up to these things. What are they doing to him? I'm supposed to kill him. It goes in the same way as Curly. God damn it. He didn't react if you see the wedding for me. He had a good pile of personal belongings in his little corner, as well as a makeshift bed. Just thrown out around. Just thrown into the corner. When I tried to enter, let me, hold on, let me. Okay, beans are down. What fucking hospital has wheelchair inaccessible doors? Hospitals, especially intensive care, frequently deal with gurneys and wheelchairs because people in intensive care generally can't walk. They are wheelchair accessible. What the fuck is this building? The nurses don't stop someone who's clearly not where they're not supposed to be. They don't know her. They've never seen her before, for this reason at least. She looks muddy. She has bloodied hands. Like, her wheelchair's busted. Why didn't anyone stop her? Why is the officer okay with her? What the fuck is happening? How are we 25% into this and I'm done? I'm done. I don't care anymore. I don't want to read this. This is the worst. This is miserable. You know that shitty background I drew? I feel like it's still better than what we got in terms of writing. It's not a hospital, it's an organ farm. Extra reason. People missing their organs can't walk, and you gotta get them out of the building. Are you going to carry them by hand? No, you put them in a wheelbarrow, which are about as wide as wheelchairs. Jesus. I did say that if this chapter is like the worst, I'm stopping, and I feel like I already know the answer to the question. Oh. Man, this is fucking trash. Not even fun trash. Not even cute trash. Not even like passionate trash. It's just trash. 5th grade level trash. Actually, let me correct that. I genuinely feel like this is 5th, 6th grade writing material. Like, doesn't try to build any flow, just tries to get the practicals out without considering the larger overarching thematic impact, or like how paragraph and sentence structure might interact, or how realistic these particular environments are for the characters. Because like your situation is this very realistic guy fell down and is like severely injured, but like everything else doesn't follow those rules. It's really weird. Oh. Delirium. Why are you here? Shouldn't there be a nurse watching him if he's delirious, potentially hostile towards himself? I feel like the cop is like the last... Like, what is he gonna do? If he's supposed to guard Inco, shouldn't he at least keep her out? Because at that point, you might as well not be there. Yeah, they should just fucking drop him on a hole and start Undertale. In its current condition, he's as effective as a child anyway. I knew it would come. Not so felt like it is. What the? Man, this is just a bad. Oh. Oof. Oof. Like, the pronoun use in this is miserable. Eric should not be here. I feel like Eric is, like, causing genuine, like, clarity in sentence structure is just out the window because Eric is adding another male pronoun to the situation. Also, what do you mean, why would you want me to come here? Did Inco call her? I got the impression that Inco didn't call you or anything. I don't know how to be here, but I don't care. I don't go anything. If take me to jail, so be. You're probably going to jail for assault, Olivia. You're probably going to jail for aggravated assault, potentially with a lethal weapon, depending on how they interpret clause in this world. Like, you're in trouble, regardless. Why did you bring his... How the fuck is that camera at all operational? You fell down multiple times. And you're soaked, apparently. They're also now covered... It's also covered in blood, because your hands are caked in blood. Why are we having this emotional moment in Chapter 3? Oh my god. Are we fixing our problems in... Okay, listen, I'm done. I'm done with this, okay? I'm gonna go ahead, and we're gonna check out where Chapter 4 starts off. Chapter 4, like, goes apparently 3 more weeks. We're 31 days after the accident. It's been a few minutes since I've been playing with an empty bottle of bourbon. It no longer contained the liquid that burned so much that soothed my physical mental pain. I mean, that's almost an interesting sentence to contrast the burning of alcohol with the soothing effects of it. The autumn days have been tough. It's November. It's still autumn. That rain nonstop day after day. Man, it just won't stop raining since the rain. Hadn't shaved and had a beard. I don't like the fact that both Inco and Anon have, like, facial hair in spite of... Like, everyone seems to display them as having facial hair despite the fact that I'm pretty sure the whole point is that they are, like, radioactive in terms of how bald they are. Although I will say that 31 days is quite a period of time to skip forward, which considering his injuries is actually like reasonable. Are there any other time skips? Chapter 4 apparently halfway goes to 20 days after the incident. Can we read My Immortal? My Immortal. There's so much to say about My Immortal, and I don't think any of it's useful. That it goes to Inco same day. Like I just don't see the fucking story here. I can't imagine reading this and being like, this is fine. Like, can I just? We've had a lot of bad ones, right? Where I feel like it's shit, but there's always kind of been like, if your standards are low enough, yeah, fine, you could probably enjoy it. But with this, I'm like, I don't see what there is to enjoy. It's extremely vapid and like not following any consistent rules. It feels very like loose with how it interprets reality. Like at once it's about a lawsuit and like the ramifications of crime, but also not. And Oliver, despite being rather important to the plot, has just vanished. Oliver's apparently the son of a senator. Jesus. I like how this character is so just insignificant to the story that he comes up like once in chapter 4. Like I feel like if he's gonna be the senator's son, like you're reintroducing the legal thing, which again it feels like you don't. I'm out. I'm sorry. I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of myself, and I have to do things that I enjoy. And hold up. We're in chapter 5, right? Chapter 5. I would like to read you. We're chapter 5. There's 16 released so far. Inco had been sentenced, luckily to something less severe than he normally would be. That idiot Oliver was destroyed when he saw his two strongest witnesses were against him. His father, who was also there, made a serious face and stupid from outside. I like how we're just fast forwarding past the case. 45 days. Is that fast for a case? I don't even know. I'm being pushed by Damien leaving the trial. What a terrible way to write that. But more importantly, shouldn't Olivia be an incredible witness? Like, Olivia has a long standing relationship with Inco and also attacked him. So I feel like, as a person, she shouldn't be that credible as a witness. Oliver was discredited during the trial with perjury, in addition to obtaining a confession of bribery from Oliver's father by one of the witnesses. Motherfucker sucks at bribing. What? The rise of Oliver was completely ruined by the bribery he has made. No, he tried to make it. The witness spoke out. Unless he still took the money. It's just fucking nasty. You don't just take someone's bribe money and then sell them out anyway. They want it back. Inco couldn't escape the blow to Oliver's face. It was considered a solved with the previous Inco's. Why is Inco's lawyer with Inco in uppercase? Is Inco an abbreviation for something now? Is Inco a weapons platform? He also knew what he did to Damien. I. Inco will go to therapy for anger problems. Why are they in uppercase? I like how we've resolved this lawsuit by chapter 5. I'm almost interested, but I feel like the procedurals are just not getting get the attention. Also, this is like halfway through. Better Call Saul, probably. Uh, The hell is happening here? Inco threatening to chop off his own arm? I think I know what I want to do instead. I think I know what I want to do instead. I want to go on a vacation. And I want to take you with me. I think my big writing spree is just dead in general. Let me see if I can find it. Living Memories. Okay, listen. I've said before that Living Memories is a bit of a fuck and a bit of a shit, but see if I can find the background for this. I'm pretty sure I made a generic background that I can just kind of slap on things, but where'd it go? Maybe it went away, and I'm just stupid. All right, you know what? Let's bring back that old background. It's a fun one. Alexa playing Visible Picture. Duran. Oh my goodness, something else. Since we got time, I got a desire to throw myself off a bridge, which, unless I want to go down a bridge, we have to find an alternative. And I think Living Memories might be the one to do it. I recall Living Memories not being great, but I do recall it being good enough that I might just survive reading it. So let's do something a little different. And this one finished up quite recently, all things considered. You know, weirdly enough, I kind of want to do Nothing to Something. Nothing else, Nothing to Something. I kind of want to do Nothing to Something because I know we got a chapter or two. I kind of. But I also know it's the worst idea right now. I'm not in the mindset to endure that. Have any of these updated? Huh. And Medieval hasn't updated in a while. This might have been going pretty quickly originally. Maybe the guy just had a backlog. Also possible. Uh, Okay, let's just go for it. I'm gonna take about 5 minutes to do things, and then we go back to it. I mean, to be fair, I kind of like this background. It's goofy. It's silly. It's. Might as well take it out. We're doing time travel. This has got time travel liturgies. Whoops. Why does this fucking Discord channel have voice chats just so that you accidentally click on them? Hmm. We actually read the funny ones. Yeah. We already ran out of good ones. Anyway, I'm gonna go for a bit. I'll be back, and I'll yell at you through the microphone so you know that we're good to go. Jesus. I will say that Fallen Down. Um, when did I start losing my mind with Nothing to Something? When did Nothing to Something make me want to throw myself off a bridge? Was it chapter 3? I feel like chapter 3 is a new record of like, wow, this is bad. I imagine Senator would know. He seems like the kind of person to know particularly nasty and spiteful information about me for no good reason. If he turns out to be the devil, I'll be like, oh, you know what? I should have known. I should have put down a bet. I should have made a bet. Everything is betting now, and I missed my chance, like always. Anyway, back in a little bit. So they're selling like a lot of the Christmas chocolate at like big discounts. Why do these hollow Christmas like what do you call them? Baubles? I think you call them baubles, right? When you hang them in the trees, we call them Christmas balls. But why are these tree ornaments, these little orbs? Why do they look like golf balls? They got the little pits and everything, the little bubbles. They look like golf balls. Mm. Bread. I forgot to stop the recording. Oh, whoops. There we go. What do you mean 0? What? Oh no, it's layering. Quick! Shit. There we go. Oh, there we go. It's just a big delay. Alright, there we go. Let's actually realize that life's worth living now. Cool. Alright. Alright. Technically, I should pull up the other one, but Welcome to Living Memories. We got Amber and Sienna, which is, I think, an OC. So I'm waggling my finger. Waggle, waggle. The girls are kissing. But that takes some time to get there. Yeah, Living Memories. We're gonna do something else because I just cannot take. I can't. I just can't take. You know what? Let's use the old background since apparently some people think, God damn it, now people know my name is Carl! Don't ever use it. Here, we'll just keep using this one because, you know, might as well get my mileage. Living Memories, time travel, fix it. Post ending 4. It's an odd story. And for some reason it eventually involves a bunch of Toho. And honestly, I like its gumption. I like the cut of its chip. I like that it has the moxie to do what it wants. It feels... I've said before that, like, if you're gonna write hot garbage, at least write it for yourself and indulge, you know. Take a big drink from your personal piss supply. And, I don't know, I write Living Memories in my own spare time because I had fun. Because I liked it. So I know it's good. I did fall off the wagon because it happens too much. And I just lose track of things. But let's have ourselves a good breath, deep breath. Wait, hold on. One moment, please. What is this? You never know what you find on discs these days. So, let me just turn on the screen and we can get going. Glugging piss by the gallon. Amber starts her first day of high school at Volcano High, only to find herself back in the past on Anon's first day. I want to waggle my finger, but we all know that, yes, it is technically Anon's first day. She's not able to tell anyone who she truly is, willingly. Both at the risk of changing history and due to some false that actually prevents her from saying anything. You mean legal repercussions for violating copyright on her own existence? Will she be able to live out her days with the past without endangering her future? I mean, the real question is she gonna go back to her own time, or is she gonna have to deal with future Amber? Both are fucking weird. Both are weird. Alright, chapter 1. Shit. I dropped something. No, Safi, why are you always like this? Well, that's a problem for later then. Oh. Amber meet Amber. What voice do I use for Amber? I'm gonna have to use her voice a lot. We'll just go with the protagonist always sounds the same. It'll work better that way. And if Anon comes along, we'll just give him the good old-fashioned, "Hi, I'm Anon Emus." Works perfectly. We're gonna go back to this. Buildings of the city pass by in a blur. Hold up. We need something a bit more slickin'. There we go. The buildings of the city pass by in a blur. I had no idea how long I've been running for now. I don't know why I chose to run. As my body moved on pure instinct while my mind tried to make sense of what was going on. Both agreed on a single thing. Whatever came over me back there could have killed me. If I hadn't snapped out of that painful stupor, my life would have been cut short right there and then. My legs ached from overexertion. But they didn't stop moving as if clinging to desperate hope. Reaching my destination would make everything better again. It's not so long now, I'm almost there. Arriving at a house, the comfort it would have provided me was nowhere to be seen. Sank further into despair. My legs failed to support me. A prickly touch of grass encompassed half of me. Man, that's great. My body becoming unable to move, all I was left were my thoughts. Weakly reached for my cell phone from inside my backpack. So, like, with how fast technology's been going, it's fairly likely, right, that her phone shouldn't work. It's, like, connected to 6G. Like, if you are 14-ish when you go to high school, like, by then we have 6G, right? Oh no, I should have brought my 5G. The main screen gave me the only information that mattered in this moment. All decided to be some kind of nightmare, just had to. My mind drifted to when I woke up. Not today, but rather that day, in order to hopefully find that answer. I appreciate that. What a nice intro. Okay, hold up, right? I've said this about a lot of things, but like, what just a nice little intro. It's 3 paragraphs of someone running in a painful stupor, exhausted. There's something going wrong, and they're then thinking of other moments. It's a little overwritten. It could have been 2 paragraphs, but it gets the point across because they're in front of their house, or at a house, I guess. I feel like it should have been more clear that it's their home, but or at least that's the intention, because that better creates a sense of like if you arrive at home and you're not, it's a 25-year society of grace. Listen, that only works in 2025. It's unfortunately 2026, my man. You're a year too late. We can never use that meme again. What a terrifying thought that we now live in the year 20XX. Mega Man should have been here by now. But what a nice little intro. It's half a fucking page. And we're already like, what's going on? Who is this person? What's happening to them? My God. Would it kill you fuckers to write a half-decent intro? I groaned in response to the sound, trying my best to ignore it and go back to sleep. The softness of my bed was deeply alluring at the moment. It was inviting me to continue embracing it, slowly drifting back into the best sleep imaginable. The noises got louder, much to my annoyance. Get up. Make up. Once again, I drove the sounds out of my mind and nuzzled my pillow in preparation for myself to return to Snoozeville. The covers were suddenly yanked off of me, subjecting me to a temperature change. Don't sudden twice. I gave you a compliment, I'm taking it back. Got a little bite to it. It feels like it wants me to give a shit. It creates a character that is immediately vulnerable. And it's vulnerable, it's kind of personal, it's kind of immediate, it implies risk. We're immediately like, oh no. And it's not overwritten. No, I cried out, trying to reach for the bedding in vain. Opening my heavy eyes, I spotted the one responsible for my early morning suffering. A light blue, technically she's green, still baffles me, holding my sheets in her hands. Mom, put the covers back. You know I can't do that, Missy. I'll be late for work and you'll be late for your first day in high school. High school? The words sloshed around my sleepy brain for a moment, and the pieces were put together. I sat up in a cold sweat, suddenly regretting the decisions I made last night. That's the day. Really, Amber? Thinking a little more time left in my vacation. How do you not notice? Surely Sunday as the concept has come up. I followed Auntie. Oh no, isn't that usually like Monday, Labor Day? I don't know. I followed Auntie Stella's recommendation for some old school anime to binge watch until late last night. It's really weird, but like for some reason, despite the fact that we are way past when anime was already socially acceptable, it's become socially unacceptable again. My dad keeps saying it works in cycles, and he's kind of pissed about it or whatever. I'm so screwed. Not being accustomed to operating a couple of hours of sleep, I was just asking for this day to suck. You were up late again, Morgan. My mother's tone made a disapproval and exasperation, Leo. Heaving out a sigh, she tossed the covers back onto the bed and opened the window shutters. Why didn't she start with that? letting the dim light of dawn trickle into my room. It's September. It's bright enough in the morning. Just get up and get ready. I'll make you some coffee to go with your breakfast, but just this once. We can't have you relying on caffeine this early on. You're also 14. It'd be really weird if I start suggesting my child take stimulants this early. Jesus, what's wrong with me? After words, I promptly got up and headed for the shower, turning Mom before closing the door. With extra sugar and cinnamon spice, right? Just how I like it. With extra sugar and cinnamon spice, right? Just how I like it. Fuck, Amber's gonna sound weird. We're just gonna live with it. We live in Amber's world. A tired smile. Yes, I know. There's no way you drink. You're giving your child. She's 14, and you're pumping her full of coffee already. How do you have the budget for this? So don't worry, sweet tooth, and I get a move on. Having been granted the one thing that would hold my day together, I showered with renewed motivation. Moving on, getting dressed, I put on a pair of jeans and a yellow blouse, adjusting carefully so that my wings didn't tear the slots more than they already were. Listen, normally I give shit for stuff like this, but it really just, it's really straightforward. It's just a jeans and a yellow blouse. It's nothing too specific, and it introduces us, if we don't already know, Amber has wings. It's great. It's all you need. I mean, it's a little overwritten, but I'll give it this much. I kind of like it about it. I like the purple prosy qualities it sometimes has. Little chef's kiss. It's done properly. It's done fun. Peering into the large mirror, I made sure my hair was combed perfectly. Perfect. Oh, wait, properly perfect. Oh, shit, I made the mistake. Having finished getting ready, I made my exit, grabbing my backpack and checking out everything I need. Notebooks, check. Phone, check. Charger, check. Awesome. Wow, you're such a nerd, Amber. Ugh. Isn't that cute? We get a character trait by what she does and how she thinks about things. It's not she going, I'm such a nerd. It's like she does the thing and you're like, ah, you're such a nerd. Who else is so excited to go to school? To check their fucking bag for their fucking notebooks. Ever since they made Mecha Trump the president of the world, things really went downhill. Anime was declared anti-citizen media and Elon Musk technically owns all our organs. Now, that would never happen because we all know that Elon Musk is non-stop gooning on Twitter right now. The man invented the perfect gooning machine and has not stopped since. Man, if I was on Twitch, I'd be banned by now. They don't like the word gooning. Making my way through the hall, down the stairs, I hopped over a couple of steps in my hurry, and then I landed on my face. Landing at the base of the stairs, I approached the entrance of the house and left my stuff at the entrance. With that said, I headed into the dining room and was greeted with a familiar face. Sitting up at the table and speaking audible was not other than my dad. Good morning, kiddo. Had a rough wake-up call, yeah? Morning, Dad. I am. This is a little messed up, that's all. My statement earned me a raised eyebrows. I took my seat. A bit, don't you think that's an understatement? As much as I hate to admit it, he was right. It was more than certain that Mom had already told him that it stayed up late again. I mean, I'm pretty sure Anon can just sense that. He's your dad, and he does anime, so he probably just has an anime dad sense for this. Grok, the only AI made with the express purpose of sexually harassing women. I'll give it that much. That's a unique selling point. Is it a good one? I don't know. But the market will decide. That's such a weird thing to say. I blame Aunt Stella for tempting me into watching this old anime. I was hesitation to throw her under the bus. I'm sure she won't mind. Man. Jesus fucking Christ. We are not even like 3 pages in, and I already like Amber. If she's the character in the beginning, she's vulnerable. She's a little sassy. She's a nerd. She's got a sort of, she's got an essence already. We already like her, because she's a fucking character. Jesus. Do you see why I wanted to do this one? I'm not yelling. Get out of my house. Don't accuse me of yelling in my own home. Normally I tie with you, Amber, but you let the temptations win on a school night. You better be ready for Mom to check you in on you every night like clockwork for the next couple of weeks to make sure you're asleep. I winced at the words. Listening to a bit of music at night. Doing so when both of them went to sleep really helped me unwind after whatever day I had. I think that little comfort taken from me for the foreseeable future really hammered how much I'd screwed up. Oh, man. What a way to start the morning and the school year. Holy shit, why isn't Amber saying that she's depressed now? Amber, you're supposed to loudly declare to the reader that you are sad now. Stop being sad and say you're sad. I held my head in my hands in despair. There we go. It was then that the well-known grip took my shoulder. It's such a fucking tiny detail! But the fact that her dad gives her so many shoulder pats that it's a well-known grip says so much about what kind of cool dad Anon is. Turning towards Dad, he gave me a comforting smile before taking one more sip from his mug. I like how I like everyone in this story, and that's good, because they're all gonna get fucked up in about 5 minutes, so it's really good that we like them. We want Amber to win, because we like what ends up happening, so we have something to lose! Look, Amber, I know how much you like to listen to music. Look, Amber, I know how much you like to listen to music when you're supposed to sleep. His revelation served to shock me. My eyes going wide. He knows about it? How? For how long? What didn't expect this was an answer to my thoughts. I've known for a couple of years by now, if I recall. You started around the time you entered junior high. By the way, you're not the only one who might be up that lit, you know. You're in your 30s at this point, Anon. You can't. Anon, you can't. You're not allowed. Anime's for kids. Stop. Please. There are no adult anime. Especially not anime specifically about being legally required to have sex. And then a couple of people resisting that by not doing that. That's an anime. I wish I was kidding. I can look up the title for you if I have to. My jaw dropped even harder. But the reveal of my nightly tendencies wasn't as discreet as I hoped. I was once again exasperated at myself, realizing that I muttered my thoughts out loud. I love that he has it. It isn't as common as it's mumbled, but exasperated to get me like that was to make me nervous. So, I like it. We've got a reason she mumbles, is because she's nervous. If we stick to that, great. Fantastic character trait. It also makes Anon's plot mumbling a bit more like actual plot MacGuffin, but at least it's honest about it. I hung my head on defeat, which followed by me receiving a few pat-pats. Hell yeah, we get the pat-pats! Jesus fucking Christ, it's one chapter and I'm already in love. I kept my head down because I knew I'd see his trademark grin if I've read your mind once again. Cleared his throat before addressing him. Hey, I didn't tell you to stop doing it! As soon as he said that, I made eye contact with a crease on my how do you look at your... What? Oh, she's rolling her eyes. All you have to do is make sure you don't get caught. I'm gonna shoot you a message before I head to sleep myself to give you a heads up. Sound good? Think carefully about his proposition. Didn't take a genius to figure out that he was doing this for my sake. Hey, yeah. That's actually so she goes to bed on time without making it a huge thing. In a funny way. That's good dadding. Not necessarily undermining the wife. Just making it so that if the wife does decide to do it, she has a... Like, it's kind of cutting a compromise in a way, isn't it? I think it's great. I got my arms moving around him. Happy to know he has my back. Don't think getting out like a stick tooth. That's what kind of father would I be if I didn't make my daughter happy. He returned my embrace and I nuzzled into his chest in appreciation. I'm just lucky to have him as my dad. My dad. My dad who was in the band. Oh. I can't believe my dad was in a band. And he kept saying it as my dad and the band. Well, I got that from Trish. Wait, if Anon starts talking like Anon again, does that mean that Amber's gonna start talking with the Savage Light again? Yeah. Getting emotional this morning, I see. Mom's voice came from the kitchen. It was long before she appeared, round in the corner with a plate and mug in her hand. I retracted from the embrace we were in and said it straight. That was just giving me a motivational talk. Yeah, motivational talk. I couldn't let Mom find out about the deal between us. And my response is stare. She narrowed her eyes before turning and gazed at her husband. Since when did you start getting all teary-eyed over a pep talk? And since when did you learn to touch the heartstrings of a teenager? That's such a fucking low blow! Since the day you and I got together, he said with a confident grin. Well, I cringed at his cheesy lines when I was on the contrary. It's like, of course, because they're both dorks now. He's ruined her. That's a no one. Oh, I know Well, you weren't as much of a smooth talker back then. What can I say? It's a skill I picked up along the way. You definitely knew how to read her around the nose when you needed to. Or lead her around. On the other hand, she was fully aware of his weakness all too well. From your days of annoying people in online forums, I assume. I thought you promised you wouldn't bring that up in front of our Lucy. To be honest, I don't know what a South Atlantic accent is. I don't know if you scream like a radio host. Let's do a number on my throat. Ugh. God damn it. They're still posting about the kitty kitty. Kitty kitty! Just like saying kitty kitty, okay? I see a cat, right? I walk around on the street and I see a cat. I immediately just go, kitty kitty! I can't stop myself. And then I say, puss! And then I blow that raspberry at him. It always gets their attention at some point. That's the point. I thought you promised you wouldn't bring that up in front of Amber, Lucy. Mom's eyes widened as she realized the mistake. I didn't notice, however. Though I didn't notice it, however, since my attention was focused on... What do you mean? Then how did you... Okay. I love you're basically making this like... You were an internet... You were an internet troll? He grimaced at my bluntness. I was. No point denying it now, I guess. Oh, God, we need to find something for these guys. Like, I could do this all the time, but I just don't wanna... Fine, I'll just work with it. I was. No point denying it now, I guess. Resigning to his fate, he mutters his true thoughts under his breath. Still am, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I giggled at his involuntary confession. Just like he could read my mind, I could also read his from time to time. Although admittedly, my dad does it a lot more than I do. It's kind of weird how he sometimes just has soliloquies. Like entire 2-hour-long soliloquies, and he's just mumbling, and... I think he got that from his cousin Inco. He stands there. Why do we leave it at that? Mom set down the plate and mug in front of me. My breakfast today was a nice serving of sunny eggs. Listen, the sun does not belong in your eggs. Some bacon and a chocolate... I just want to do the end on both, okay? Proudly in the meme wars of 2030. The man stood when 4chan fell. They finally couldn't afford the server costs. Mostly because RAM had become impossible to afford. Because somehow NVIDIA was still like circle sucking itself off. Nobody could get any RAM, and 4chan went down. They tried to steal it, and they thought that no one would ever know, but that's how they got caught. That's how they got caught. Every single bit of RAM had a little remote detection chip to it, and also a small bomb. They got blown up, I guess. Man, the meme war sucked. Way too much guerrilla warfare. Run out. I'll steal it, and no one will ever know. God damn it! Accompanied by a slightly hot mug of coffee, emitted a pleasant cinnamon smell. I like that because she's a dinosaur, she would think things are less warm than they are. Taking the mug by the handle, I blew the coffee off to cool just... I assure you that blowing over coffee does not cool enough. It's water. That shit holds on to heat like crazy. There's a reason it's used as a coolant. After a bit, I took a sip. The sweetness engulfed my taste buds and I instantly and set me into a bliss, making me squeal in delight. Let them stare at me in amusement, but I didn't mind. I relished in the sensation as I dug into the rest of my breakfast. Dad went back to his own mug, and Mom joined us with her own food. Now, together at the table, we enjoyed our breakfast, and more importantly, ourselves. What? What do you mean, ourselves? What the fuck was that? That was a weird noise. Charcuterie board. Charcuterie board? I guess no one will ever know. After finishing my breakfast, I quickly brushed my teeth and made for the front door as Dad called out to me. Take care and enjoy your day, Amber. Turning around to see him and waving. What is going on? Waving goodbye from the top stairs, I waved him goodbye. What? Oh, your house has some stairs, probably. I will. See you later, Dad. We both exchanged wide smiles before I walked out the door and into the morning light. Mom was already in the car, so not to waste any more time, I hopped into the backseat as fast as possible. You're ready to go. Yeah, I double-checked everything before I went out the door. Got everything I need, I think. Now that I haven't asked about it, a certain uncertainty crept into me. It was just one last check. It's fine, sweetie. It's your first day. You don't need much aside from some pencils and notebooks. All you have to do is relax. How the fuck would you remember? You went to high school. Like, by the time your kid goes to high school is farther away from you than your... You're farther away from high school than you are from when you first started forming memories, right? Because maybe 3-4 years, you know? That's assuming you had this fucking child, like, day one. On days like these, kids like you should go to school. Hey, on days like these, kids like you should go to school. Plays the Delta in. God damn it. Can't believe I got sent to school. At least fine, sweetie. It's your first day. So I don't need much. Okay. We drove out to the streets of Full Caldera Bluffs. Watching the buildings pass by in the blur for a bit, we finally started approaching the familiar building. Mom and I had already been to multiple occasions. More importantly, my high school. For some reason, a slight shiver went down my spine, probably in anticipation. Who knew what awaited me this year, and who I'll get to meet? I fidgeted in my seat as Mom parked her in her designated spot inside the school's lot. Once we came to a stop, she and I exited the car, moving to our separate ways. The distance between us grew more and more before I got right at the range to hear her, and she called out to me, Enjoy your first day, sweetie. I will, Mom. Giving her the happiest smile I could muster, I shifted my attention in the direction at the entrance. After walking a bit, I reached the base of a long set of stairs leading to Volcano High. Peering across the school's front, my determination to make the most of my time here skyrocketed. I couldn't begin to imagine the stories I'd tell my parents later. Of my first day, what teachers and classmates, and my thoughts so far. They've been intently listening to me all the way, and as if I meant the world to them. Well, I probably did. I feel like was inappropriate there. It should be did. Or am? No, you did mean the world to them. Because that's how you say it. You do mean the world to someone. Not you are mean the world to someone. They loved me with everything they had, and I returned their affection as best I could. Wow, you are so emotionally intelligent about this. I'm so happy to be the daughter. You said that already, but I get it. Climbing the steps, I already couldn't wait to see them. When I didn't know it was going to take a long time and unthinkable circumstance before I could see them again. Either way, I had seen today. So, I just something a lot of fics tend to miss is this element of, like, setting things up or implying that you already know where your story is going. It's so nice that this fucking story has that sense to it. Anyway, this is great. This is just nice. You know, we can go back to Falling Down and see, like, where we're at chapter 10. Just for shits and giggles. It's summer of 2029. That's the next year, right? No, that's 3 years later. Jesus Christ! Fallen Down takes place over multiple years? There I go again thinking about her. Oh, they broke up? Dang. Actually, them breaking up makes the whole, like, 2 POVs weirder. I only have a handful of contacts. Eric? Oh, he became friends with the cop guy? Why isn't Damien in there? Don't know why I still have Olivia's number. Interesting. Don't tell me that Fallen actually gets better over time. I hate that. Maybe I'll take a look on my own time, which means I won't. Oh, it's doing this thing. Ugh. Lunara, here I come. Well, let's take a little peekaboo at chapter 15. The last update was in May. I don't think Fallen Dawn's going to get finished. Inco November 15th. No year. I guess we just lost track of time. Wow, we lost track of time. Some of these straight up don't mention things. They all start with Inco. The nightmares tell me about him again. You know, there's an old saying in writing, never send your character to therapy. But I have a condition too. You know what I also like about Living Memories that I don't see in the other one very much? Samantha. What I really like about Living Memories is that we have decent length paragraphs. It's not just 18,000 lines that all start with I. It's the little things. Apparently they finally got a cover. And then they stopped making it. Man, there's this one person who apparently just hates Damien's fucking guts. What the hell? Show up and kill Damien. Kill him. Well, sorry, Fangs went into the fridge. You go. Somehow she survived. So who knows? She belongs next to the milk. That's a great way to put it. Man, I love this woman. She fits just perfectly next to the milk. So next time we got chapter 2. And you also may notice, hey, the chapter, not that long. Nice paragraph length, feels like actual fucking English. Wow. My standards are low. Bottomed out. I'm gonna have to update my reading list with I don't care. Maybe I'll do it in my off time. Maybe I'll do it in my off time. That's a great way for me to say I'm never doing it. What a great way to put it. God, I want to start vetting this stuff, but other than that, vetting stuff's hard. I mean, there's also Infamous Fall and Return, which also kind of read all right and actually was going places and did some really funny shit that made me laugh. Oof. Wasn't it Broken Wings that, like, solves its problems like 2 minutes in? Incredible. Oh, well. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to leave it at this for now. I'm kind of exhausted. Why does Fig we can't have moms around? Will Sophia get the sword stick? Every mom must die. End. You have to. It's why we wake up in the morning. That good old dead mom. But I want to thank you all for coming. It makes my day a little better. Yeah, that is a problem plot-wise. But, you know, if the breeding is all right, like if it's got a bit more sense to its structure, doesn't have a bloated work count and stuff, I can take a lot more. The problem with Fallen Down is that it's like 18,000 different problems at once, similar to Nothing to Something. But I'm honestly starting to get to the point where I realize that Nothing to Something was just a warm-up for how bad it can get. It's just the worst to knowledge. It's like finding out that Cthulhu exists and like, no, buddy. That's step one. That's the beginning. Ugh. We'll do more next week on the Friday. I'll try to remember. I'll put it in my phone so I actually remember. That was my bad. I can make excuses, but there are no excuses for me being an idiot and taking full blame and responsibility for it. I don't get paid. I don't care. Ah, I hope you're ready for the Copewick fave. Oh, okay, yeah. So someone did tell me about last second save. Oh, they made them canon? I thought they were just releasing them. Oh, they're. How can they be canon? You already have multiple endings. Whatever. One of the canon endings is that actually one of the endings never had. Um, I I have to admit I've been thinking about last second save and matters of trust, and I don't know if I care. I've long had the opinion, and kind of my stance has been any any return to Snoot Game in a serious sense is going to earn me my listen, buddy. You can't keep returning to Lost Glory like this. Like the bonus chapters were fine because they were all meant to like pad things out, but if you're gonna start writing or canonizing additional parts of the actual endings, I'm like, buddy, get out of here. Get a hobby. I get that one he didn't work out the way you wanted it to. They're probably pissed off about those plushies. I've been hearing that apparently those Olivia plushies are getting fucked over. It's like the worst. Woof. Man, I'm baffled that Tabletop Simulators apparently got a 2.0 roadmap. Releasing them and canon. Shit. It's been it has been 6 years. It feels like it's been less, like 4 years maybe. Okay, hold up, buddy. Senator, please. You what? Last second save is a hardcore cope fic, not like a healthy cope fic, but like the hardcore shit, the crack cocaine of cope. Damn, that's wow. Yeah, yeah, I really do. I really feel like there's a lot of gaps in Wani that could be filled in by someone who gives a shit. Like every fucking character could use some building. Like Mia and Liz and so forth. They could use a little more background and anything. Jesus Christ, why did they canonize just such a sappy thing? Ending one is supposed to be a punishment. You can't make it good and then canonize the good. I'm sorry, but even Living Memories does not have the strength to stand in between this shit sandwich. Jesus Christ, Senator, why must you ruin my day? Matt is just, I don't know, I'm afraid. It's an E2 cope, and Broken Wings was already bad. There, buddy. Pat. A Broken Wing is ending too. Huh. Jesus, man. I'm so fucking. I'm almost inspired to go back to writing, but then you had to bring this stuff up. All I need is some. God. Well, maybe next week you could tell me all about what Matters of Trust is like. I thought I heard that Matters of Trust is supposed to be bad. It's supposed to end poorly and you don't get any choices. Like, God, I'm just. Like, here's the thing. I can kind of see a road to recovery. Because when you really dig into it, ending one's big moment is that Fan commits this atrocity that cannot be taken back. But outside of that, it's not impossible. It wouldn't go quickly. It wouldn't be easy. I'm sad now because this implies that fucking Caveman doesn't know what they're doing either. Admittedly, I have my opinion on Snook Game and Wani has soured over time, that they are not as deep or insightful as they appear to be. I've always given Snook Game the exemption of like it's very clearly just meant to be like for a specific audience to teach a specific lesson, and under those contexts, I'm fine with it. But that's why I don't want them to go back to it, because if they ever go back to it, it implies that it's more than that, and if they imply that it's more than that, it's pathetic and bad. It's the problem. Sorry, you just can't go back. It's a Snook game. It's done its job. Any future returns imply that you just want to. Oh, that's not good. My live stream tab crashed. Any return to it just it's trying to recapture lost glory. Feels like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird and annoying. I'm a guy on the internet. I don't have that many followers. I'm not famous or popular. Disregard my opinion before you make it your life decision. Snoot was a shitpost. Rest is actually just industrial. What do you mean with that? I just always felt like Snoot Game had a point to it. It had a purpose. It tried to fulfill that purpose. It's funny. A lot of jokes, kind of carried by its comedy because like the main characters were very boring and flat, and it was intellectually incurious about certain concepts that it tried to grapple with. It's really bad in that front. But as a shitpost, I like a little comedy routine. It's fine. Maybe that's why all the fanfics suck, because the source material isn't that great either. Man, that's so sad. The whole Olivia plush thing, though, was people pay money for the thing, and then they made the Seaside soundtrack, to which I can only say, what do you mean Seaside? It's unreleased tracks and demos. We can get them for $1. Well, that's cheap enough, I guess. Yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Either way, we'll do more of this, and by then maybe some more people have some more opinions about those fics, and we can drown ourselves in the knowledge that I'll never engage with them because it just ain't my thing. Thank you all for coming. Don't forget to show up next week. If you like it, if not, who cares? Oh shit, I forgot to end the recording. I'm dumb. Fallen Drown. It was the most the most high effort of shitposts. They made it with love, and that translates into the reading, and now they want to mangle it. What for do they want to mangle it? Do they want the prestige, the fame? Do they want to relive lost glory? What could drive a man to look at a fine shitpost and then stomp all over it? Perhaps we'll never know. Perhaps no one will ever know. Why am I like this? By the way, none of the OGs are with Kate. Wait, what? Hold up. Hold up. I was about to. Wait. What do you mean the OGs aren't with it anymore? I thought Caveman was still the same group. I kind of figured they were like just a loose gathering of idiots and losers, as you are, who were just kind of having fun with it. I didn't think they what? What? This is the news I didn't see coming. That I don't want to see coming. I don't want to know this news. What do you... Oh man, this is I'm just like I was under the impression, right, the whole time that Caveman was a group of people. And maybe some people came and went, as you do, because that's just how it goes. But not in the sense that, like, The whole group changed, you know? Like there was a core bunch of people that were still around. Like I know one of the people who worked on this made their own game. I forgot who it was and what they made, but they made like their own little thing with furries and stuff. Damn. Man. Paleo fantasies. What the hell does that mean? Why are people throwing well, I guess Senator left, so we're never gonna get an answer. Maybe next week we'll get it. Smurf village gender ratio. What words are these people's using? I think I've had enough. I think I've had enough. I think I'm tired of myself, of life. I still thank you all for coming, but the mental damage from today is gonna take some time to heal. Yep.